Nikita Tszyu, the rising star of Australian boxing and son of the legendary Kostya Tszyu, is stepping into the ring on August 20, 2025, carrying not just his own ambitions but the weight of a famous name and the expectations of an entire boxing nation. And this upcoming bout isn't just another fight, it's a chance to prove that he's not just Tim Tszyu's younger brother or Kostya's son, but a world-class fighter in his own right, one who has forged his own identity. With relentless dedication, evolving skill, and an unbreakable mindset, Nikita's journey has been different from most. He didn't rush into the spotlight early. He took his time, built his fundamentals patiently, learning every aspect of the sport while growing out of his famous shadow. And now, under the bright lights, he's showing that he's a unique force with a style all his own. Where Tim is clinical and methodical, Nikita is explosive and unpredictable, blending sharp technical boxing with aggressive combinations and a willingness to engage in gritty exchanges that thrill fans and break opponents down mentally as well as physically. He's been grinding in camp for months, sparring with top-tier competition to prepare for every scenario this fight could bring. Taller opponents, counterpunchers, pressure fighters, and every day in the gym has been about sharpening his weapons, from the crisp jab that sets up everything to the thudding left hook to the body that makes rivals wilt in the later rounds. Tszyu's conditioning is off the charts because he understands that talent alone won't carry him. You need stamina, you need heart, and you need the willingness to suffer more than the man across the ring. And Nikita has shown in past bouts that when things get tough, when punches start flying back, he doesn't fold, he bites down on his mouthpiece and fights harder. A trait that has earned him respect from hardcore boxing fans worldwide. This August 20th, he's facing an opponent who's no pushover, someone coming to win, not just collect a paycheck, and Nikita knows he'll have to be sharp from the first bell, using his footwork to control range, his jab to set the tempo, and his timing to land heavy counters that stop the other man in his tracks. His team has been working on refining his defense too, knowing that as the stakes get higher and the opponents get tougher, every small mistake can cost you. And Nikita wants to show he's not just an offensive powerhouse but a complete boxer, someone who can slip, roll, and parry while creating openings for his own punishing shots. The energy around this fight is electric because fans sense that Nikita is on the verge of breaking into the elite conversation, following in his father's footsteps but doing it his own way. And this fight could be the statement victory that cements him as more than a prospect, as a legitimate contender with world title aspirations. He's not coming to play safe or just rack up points on the scorecards. He's coming to dominate, to hurt his opponent, to send a message to the entire division that he's a threat who's ready for anyone, anywhere, anytime. Expect him to come out focused but aggressive, working behind the jab early, testing his opponent's reactions, then gradually turning up the pressure with fast combinations, punishing body shots, and that signature Tszyu toughness that makes quitting not an option. Nikita fights with controlled fury. There's no wild swinging, no wasted movement, just precise, calculated violence. And he's confident that his preparation, his power, and his ring IQ will allow him to break his opponent down round by round, forcing either a late stoppage or a lopsided decision that leaves no doubt about who the better man is. For Nikita, every punch thrown on fight night will carry the weight of years of sacrifice. The early mornings, the brutal sparring sessions, the road work in the rain, the strict diet, the mental discipline to stay locked in while the world watches and judges. And that's why he's entering this fight with a chip on his shoulder, determined to silence any critics who doubt whether he's truly elite, determined to build his own legacy brick by brick, fight by fight. When the bell rings on August 20th, you'll see a fighter who's hungry, focused, and fearless, a fighter who understands that in boxing, you're only as good as your last performance. And Nikita Tszyu is planning to make this his best performance, yet a brutal showcase of skill, power, and warrior spirit that proves he's not just carrying a famous last name, he's creating his own history, one devastating punch at a time. And if his opponent isn't ready for the storm, they may not hear the final bell, because Nikita Tszyu is coming to make a statement the whole boxing world will hear loud and clear. Lulzim Ismaili, the undefeated Swiss super welterweight sensation, is preparing for the biggest night of his career as he faces Australia's rising powerhouse Nikita Tszyu on August 20th, a showdown that promises to test skill, willpower, and championship potential in equal measure. Born in Kosovo and raised in Switzerland, Ismaili's journey has been defined by grit, discipline, and relentless focus rather than hype or privilege. With an unblemished professional record, insert real numbers if available, for example 13-0 with 9 KOs, Ismaili has quietly built himself into one of Europe's most dangerous technicians, combining old-school fundamentals with a newly developed edge in power punching. His style is built on precision, patience, and timing, a high guard, perfect balance, and an educated jab that sets up accurate counters, tools that frustrate aggressive opponents and make him a nightmare for brawlers who rely on pressure. Unlike many prospects who pad their records, Ismaili has chosen real challenges, fighting durable veterans and learning lessons in the ring that most fighters never face until much later in their careers. Now, against Tszyu, the younger brother of Tim Tszyu and son of Holodomor Kostya Tszyu, he steps onto a global stage, fully aware that the crowd, the media, and even the judges may favor the hometown star. But that doesn't intimidate him, it fuels him. Ismaili thrives as the underdog, and his camp has been grueling, with hours of sparring, tape study, and tactical drilling to sharpen every weapon in his arsenal. Tszyu likes to overwhelm opponents with constant pressure, heavy hands, and high-volume combinations. But Ismaili's team believes that by controlling distance, keeping his jab disciplined, and picking precise counters, he can neutralize that aggression and take over as the rounds go deeper. This fight is more than a regional clash, it's an audition for world title contention. A win would propel Ismaili into the spotlight, proving that Swiss boxing can produce elite talent capable of beating major names on foreign soil. Fans who've seen him fight know his cold, efficient style, no wasted motion, no unnecessary risks, and that composure could be the difference between victory and defeat. Under the bright lights of Australia, every sparring round has been treated like a championship fight, every weakness studied and eliminated, because this isn't about surviving, it's about making a statement. Boxing insiders already whisper about Ismaili as a complete fighter, with both mental toughness and technical polish. But August 20th is his chance to prove it to the world. He's not flying across the globe for a paycheck. He's coming to ruin the Tszyu party, silence the crowd, and announce himself as a legitimate threat to the top of the 154 Rel B division. Expect a clash of styles, Tszyu's raw fire versus Ismaili's icy precision, and expect Lulzim Ismaili to leave everything in the ring in a fight that could redefine his career overnight.